Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Last Cloudia. Before we continue, I want to let you guys know real quick that I will be making videos of a different game as well. Basically, a game I've been playing for a while. I just took a 9-month break, which is going to be Shadowverse. This is a collectible card game that's similar to Hearthstone, but just more of my style. So if you're interested in that gameplay footage, I will be making more of those again in the future. Just wanted to let you guys know. Alright, let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about 2 new characters and 1 new arc that's going to all be on the same banner. The first one we're going to discuss is the Advocate of God, Baran. Now this is a character that is going to be a true neutral DPS character, which is something that you rarely get these days, it feels. Well, really, just in general, because the first time I believe we got a true neutral character was with the collab Secret of Mana, which was Randy, who was actually top tier at one time. And let's make Randy good again. I really think that the Secret of Mana characters need to get an update, just like the Dr. Stone characters did. So I would request that that happens sometime soon. But after that, I think we ended up getting I guess I'm not sure if it was Balin or if it was Rim that came out next. Well, we got 2 of those, which are also limited units. One that's a collab and one that's a DOH. And of course, we do have Meredy, who is neutral, but she also could go over to Thunder. So that's the only non-limited unit I believe that for the most part does neutral damage. So it's nice to have another character, unfortunately limited, but we have another neutral damage dealing character. So let's take a look at his stats. 5863 on the HP is good. 1352 strength, really good. 1050 defense, really good. So overall, we're looking at decent stats here. Being nil to illness is great, so it'll be pretty easy to heal. And of course, the bigger resistance is to dark, which kind of makes sense. As I mentioned earlier, all of the abilities that he has as far as his S1 through his special are all going to be neutral type damage. So that's the main thing you need to know. Now the third skill can give curse or silence to what he hits. So that's a little bit of a boost there. And then for the special, Judgment of Crime, basically it's a hit all enemies. And physical attack damage was 20% buff to the unit and recover 15 seconds of SCT. So, special's done and you get a good buff. Really good to have. Taking a look at the traits. So, the first trait we're going to look at is Unscathed. No attribute damage cap, 4,000. No attribute damage increases as remaining hit points decreases. And maximum damage is up to 50% when remaining HP is below 10%. So, seems alright. The fact that you're getting a 4,000 base damage cap for no attribute, or neutral is what I call it, is actually pretty solid. Now, Ophidian Blade, when using a skill, can't be interrupted by most attacks. When physically attacking, chance to absorb 6 to 12% of damage dealt as HP. More absorbed as the unit's HP decreases. So basically, the more he gets damaged, the better overall he gets. So really, really interesting. And like I said, the fact that has a damage cap of 4,000, pretty good too. So I'm liking, what I see as far as traits are concerned. Now we're looking at the actual magic and skills that can be learned. You got Ruination as the one spell here. This is recovers 10 seconds of SCT when casting skills. Temporarily consume some HP for 25% skill damage. So that's basically what it is. It's going to cost you 45 to use if you're going to do it, which you might, depending on what your playstyle is. It's going to basically help you do some damage and get that skill up faster. You got attack up max, spirit up 3 and 5, which is actually a really good combination of attack ups here. You got crit up 2, advanced aim vitals, really good, decent crit package, I'll say. We have Household of Ruin, so add god type to the user, dark attacks from enemies minus 20%. We have Weapon Break, which is when attacking with a skill, chance to inflict a physical damage minus 20% debuff to the enemy. Pretty good. We got Life Break, which we're seeing more of now. The lower your remaining HP, the higher your strength will be. Max 50%. I think I would expect this from this character, mainly because his whole theme is, being stronger as his, HP goes down. We have auto protect, auto crit, and auto haste. So first off, auto haste is the standard for really good units that are physical, so I like that. Auto crit is just an added bonus. And auto protect is just a good thing to help, just to protect in general. No attribute attack raise 2, and no attribute critical raise. So 2 good, no attribute boost. You got Pose of Glory, which helps with your SCT, your SCT when you kill someone. We got Strong Remedy, which you don't see much of. Regenerate MP and boost skill recovery while afflicted with a status element. You got Piercing, which is always good to have. Shockwave, so we're going to be dealing with people that can guard, so that's good. We got Sword Boost and Sword Mega Boost. Happy to see the Mega Boost. Well, this is basically when a sword's equipped. Your physical attack damage 30%, and then physical attack damage cap plus 2k. Always good to see. We have Ultimate Boost, which, obviously your specials do 20% more damage. We have Sharp Eyes automatically there. Beast Alliance, which makes sense being who this character is related to. And then we have Blade Breach. And physically attacking enemies who have a status element, chance to deal an extra attack. So basically, if you're going to be, using his skill 3 to inflict them with an ailment, or if you're going to use another character like Logia or somebody else who can inflict status elements, there you go. This will come into play. And you have Vampiric Drain. So upon defeating an enemy, apply a strength plus 35% buff to the unit. And this is going to be on top of all the other stuff that happens when it kills units. So that's pretty good. Death lands. When physically attacking an enemy close to death, physical damage plus 30%, low chance to insta-kill, excluding bosses in arena. Makes perfect sense. So this is kind of the opposite. So the lower he gets, the stronger he gets, the lower the enemy gets, the higher the chance of something worse happening to them. It's really interesting how they're doing this. And the last skill is Zero Therium. This is Battle Start, auto cast Reincarnation, no attribute damage cap 1000. So we're getting more of a damage cap boost. So pretty cool. Now, overall, I think this is actually a solid character. Again, any kind of a decent, no attribute attacker is always good to have here and there. The fact that he can potentially debuff is pretty good. The fact that they're playing to the more damage he dealt, the stronger he gets, I think is really good. This is just all around a good character. I actually think this is worth pulling for if you don't already have a neutral damage dealer. Now, if you have, say, Bayland or we'll say Merity, you might be okay. You don't have to necessarily go hard to get this unit, but if you don't have a no attribute attacker and you don't have those characters or Randy or anyone like that, you might want to consider this character. I mean, as far as the attribute attacker, this might be the best that's been released, so definitely not a bad grab. But I wouldn't go out of your way if you already have someone that's neutral that you like using. All right, onwards to the next person. And that next person is Advocate of God, Rybala. Now, this particular character, also related to the character we just reviewed, well, married to, I should say, Sorcerer type. So good to see Sorcerers coming back again. So HP is okay, 4775. That's about average, I'd say. The important thing to look at, MP 303, Intelligence 1372, which is good, and 1042 Mind is pretty decent. But overall, decent stats in general. Anytime you have every stat getting close to 900-ish, and of course, a few over 1,000 is always a good thing. As far as resistances, basically nil to stun is good, and then silence is at least resisted. You'd like to see it nil, but, can't have everything. And, of course, Thunder plus 20% as far as the attribute resistance. Another important thing to note here. As far as skills, you're looking more about Earth. So this is basically an Earth page, which I'm not sure if if you count old school Medine, I guess you could say that's an Earth mage, but I don't think we actually have ever had a true Earth mage that was actually just a mage, but you could probably build her another way. So we'll take a look at it once we look at her skill kit. But yeah, basically you're looking for the most part just earth damage dealing. Now the skill 3 is important, chance to reduce earth resistance, which basically means that you're going to be dealing more damage, which is always a good thing to see. Eternal disaster, this is the special. So you have a powerful attack, hits everyone, chance to lower enemy strength, defense, intelligence, and or mind. So pretty good. I mean, again, we're kind of going with the debuff theme here, which kind of makes sense, being the fact that they birthed Theria. It kind of makes sense that they would have something similar to that. Now let's take a look at the traits. Netherworld Resonance, Earth damage plus 40%, Earth damage cap 5,000. Also boosts Earth damage. Earth damage cap based on number of allies, enemy sorcerers, excluding this particular unit, so she doesn't count. Max damage plus 25% and damage cap plus 5,000. So yeah, a lot of booster earth damage is basically what this is saying. And not just magic, we're talking earth damage in general. So physical earth damage also will count. Second trait, Wicked Tempest. When earth attacking, chance to inflict a sanguinate debuff. Lose HP when using skills. When attacking an enemy with, I'm not going to say the word again, damage plus 40% and chance to absorb 7% of damage as HP. So that's kind of an interesting thing to see. I don't know how great this is going to apply, but it'll take some testing to see, how good that's actually going to be, what's going to be worth having or not. So she comes with God Heal, which, okay, so she's doing healing too, didn't know that. Tornado Storm, Grand Cross, Nether Tempest. Nether Tempest is the newer Earth spell. That's the one that basically can affect defense minus 20%. We have Giga High Drain, so some debuffs happening here. All enemies defense minus 35%. Giga High Lostoma, same thing for intelligence. Giga Weak, so everyone basically loses attribute resistance, or all of them. Advanced Magic Circles, you got Magic Up Max. Arcane up 3 and 4. We got Crit up 2. You have Household of Ruin, which is basically the same thing. God type, and then Chalice of Dark attributes are shrugged a little bit. We got Auto Aura, Auto Recast, which is very important. Auto Recast basically means that they can cast the spells faster. So that's a really good thing to have for any kind of a mage. We have Auto Heal, which very few people have. So this is the one where if you're almost about to die, you get 30 MP and greatly recover some HP. We have Earth Boost, Earth Mega Boost. Though the Mega Boost is the one that does the whole damage plus 30% with a damage cap of 2,000. Now this is Earth Magic, to be more specific. We have Earth Critical. This Earth Critical mainly deals with magic. We have an Earth Attack Raise 2, Earth Critical Raise, which applies to both physical and magic. We have Goddess Kiss, a movable object, and high level magic chant. These are kind of the standards that all mages should have. Well, yeah, they should all have it. And then you have Magic R, which basically means she uses more MP to deal more damage. Beast Alliance, which I said earlier makes sense because of how they're related. Extra Attack Weakness, you're just dealing more damage as you're making the weak to the attribute. We have Divine Winds, which is a new one. Battle Start minus 20 attribute resistance debuff on all enemies. Thunder damage taken minus 35% buff on all allies. That's actually pretty strong. I actually like that ability right there. I'm big on debuffers, so, and buffers too. So support characters is kind of something I like. And I actually do like mages to some degree, but just not a regular mage, but a mage that can multitask. So I kind of like the character. And then, of course, the last ability, Mind Pierce. When magically attacking, chance to have enemy mind and deal damage. So, not bad. Overall, I think she's a decent unit. I don't know how useful she's going to be long term. I will say that the fact that she can debuff is really the only thing that I think is really great about her. And we don't really get good earth magic users. So the fact that we actually have a character like this is nice. The problem right now is that, mages are not exactly been the most popular these days. Most people are into physical DPS. But I will put my stamp of approval on this character mainly because she can debuff. If it weren't for the debuffs and stuff, I'd be like, eh. I mean, yeah, being able to deal damage is nice, but yeah, you need more. So this is actually a decent character too. Let's go ahead and talk about the arc. So we are presented with the Hegeopolis of Aiden. Now this arc has night only. Battlestar all skills recover 5 seconds of SCT. When armor is equipped, at Battlestar all skills recover SCT 5 seconds. Becomes less likely to fade. When HP is at least 50%, become more likely to be targeted. When HP is 50% or less, defense and mind plus 30%. So basically, the attribute screams, hey, give this to a tank. And we actually have tanks, so who'd have thunk? Let's take a look at what you can learn. So we have Mimicry Knight, defense up 3, vitality, durability. I think durability is new. Movement speed is lowered, but physical damage minus 10% is taken from enemies. I don't remember this one, but I want to say it's new. I might be wrong. We have Grand Fort and we have Armor High Boost. Basically just to help your defense. So when armor is equipped, defense plus 20%, damage taken from bosses minus 10%. And let's take a look at the actual Arc Ether reward. We have the Holy Armor of Gilvin. So this particular piece of 6-star armor has defense 151, mind 236, which is pretty high for mine. Recovery magic power plus 15%. Recovery magic cast speed plus 15%. And of course, it has 10 dark resistance. I'm going to be honest with you, this feels like an armor that was made for 2 specific units, Ryudo and Roland. I can't think of anyone else that would really benefit too much from this, like all around, because it's talking about recovery magic, and it's an armor. And, yeah, it's definitely a Roland slash Ryudo thing, so there you go. I will say that overall, the arc itself is just okay. It's not something that I'm really super hype about. I think that the Arc Ether reward is probably the best thing about this, and it's actually good armor. So, if you have, or if you really like playing Roland and or Ryudo, if you actually have one of those two, I think this arc could be good for you specifically for the Ether reward. That's really the main thing you're getting out of it. And everything else is just kind of an added bonus, but it's nothing really worth bragging about. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some paid gear. 1 second. All right, so it looks like we have 4 different pieces of equipment to discuss. So we're going to start with the ones for Baran. So this is a 5-star sword with no attributes, shocker. 177 strength, defense and mind plus 10. No attribute attack damage plus 10%. Chance for specials to deal critical damage. So again, you're basically boosting more of your attack. And your specials being able to deal crit damage is okay, but nothing really to brag about. Like, so overall, I think it's okay. Mainly for the 10% boost in non-attributes. The actual strength of the sword is just okay. It's nothing crazy. If it was at least 200, then I would say, wow, that's pretty good. 177 is just decent. Like I said, nothing really to brag about. Let's take a look at the next item. Same character for Baran. We're looking at a 5-star armor. This is strength 42, 152 defense, 80 mind. SCT recovery speed plus 10%. Continuous magic barrier effect. So if you equip this, you'll basically have auto barrier and auto protect. So you got the best of both worlds. So I think that this is actually a pretty decent piece of armor, and you're getting resistance to curse, which is always nice to have. So out of the 2 pieces of equipment, and let's say if you're budgeting and you're just trying to get one equipment for this specific character, I would probably go more for the armor personally. Just being able to get some more good defense, which is what a tank really wants more than anything, is important. So yeah, this is a pretty easy pick for me. Like I said, the sword is okay, but nothing really to brag about, where I think the armor is actually pretty good. All right, let's take a look at the one for the next character, Rybala. So this is an accessory Evoker's Helm Millard. Intelligence 40, MP 50, Defense 11. Earth Magic Attack Damage Cap 1000, Continuous Protection Effect. So again, we're basically helping some of her defensive stuff here, but this also helps with some offensive stuff. So we got kind of the best of both worlds. Stats are okay. I mean, you're getting 40 intelligence on an accessory, which is decent, plus 50 on MP is pretty good too. Overall, this is actually not bad. It also gives you resistance to illness, so that also helps you. That's a +1 right there. Take a look at the next piece of item here. For Rybala, we have the Wraith Armor Nargiel. So first off, we have intelligence plus 31. We have defense 154, mind 94. Earth attack damage plus 10%. Continuous MP regeneration effect recovers 1 MP per time. So yeah, I mean, oh, and you got 10 on the light resist and and a buff to silence resist, which is what she needs so that she can be silence nil. So this basically covers some of the things that she needed under Ket. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Now, I will be honest, I'm not 100% sure what's going to be better. I mean, if you're going to be using her as, purely a mage, this might be better mainly for the MP regeneration. So that might be that. And you're still getting your earth attack damage up. And this is assuming you're only going to pick one weapon for this one character, or one item, I should say. I would say go for the armor. So overall, the armor is the best thing on both of them, but the difference here is that for Rybala, both items are actually pretty good. I think the accessory is good too, so, I don't think that the armor wins by a large margin, but it's still pretty good. Let's go ahead and do a one multi-pull from the non-paid. I'm not going to really invest in this banner too much. I'm actually going to just save up a little bit for what's coming later, so I'm not going to be going hard on this, which means I probably won't be getting any of this, but we'll see how lucky I am. Let's check it out. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do a one multi-pull, and that's pretty much it. Also, it says that the SSR is on rate up, if I'm looking at that. Or is it? No, it just says pick up. Never mind. Alright, let's go ahead and do the multi-pull, see what we get here. And again, we're using non-paid crystals this time. Okay, I have no interest in investing. Like I said, these are decent characters. The arcs, But, just for the sake of content, we'll do a multi and see what happens. Alright, so I think we have the whole squad, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully. If not, we were missing one. So we got a yellow. And we got a red. Wow. It's going to be funny if I end up pulling something, even though I'm not interested. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Of course I would get one. It's only funny that this happens because, again, I had no interest in investing in any of these characters at all. The one time that I don't care to pull, boom, first multi. But you know what? I'll take it. Who knows? Maybe I'll use her in the future. Like I mentioned earlier, I actually do like debuff mages. Nocturne Tinkeely is actually one of my favorite mages in the game because of how great her debuffs are. So this is going to potentially, maybe not replace her, but she could be something I can use for certain content. So I will eventually build her up. I'm just not going to do it in a hurry. But hey, I'm not going to complain about pulling her. And there you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for listening and watching this broadcast, if you will. I appreciate you guys taking the time out. And like I mentioned earlier, I will be also posting Shadowverse content in the future. More than likely, no commentary. It'll just be matchups. So if you're interested in card gaming play, you'll be seeing more of it soon. If you're interested in what it is, I actually have a section on my channel called Shadowverse versus Music. That's kind of like a similar style that I'm going to be using, except I'll be using the in-game music. But yeah, basically just look at that, and that'll kind of give you an idea of the kind of videos I will be producing soon. And until next time, and I will still be doing Last Cloudia content, so don't forget that. But until next time, take care and keep gaming, everyone. And make Randy better again. Later.